Hey YouTubers, it's RC Mike back with you with the Vanquish H10 Optic. We have the Sparco and the Yokohama version. We've done just a couple of modifications. These are the stock wheels that you get. They're just plastic beadlock wheels. They're okay to start with, I suppose, but we wanted to put some aluminum wheels on there. So with this Sparco, it's got a silver color scheme to it, so these silver aluminum wheels look real good. They kind of look more like a racing wheel than like a beadlock crawling wheel. So the Yokohama has got the kind of a silver wheel on there with a beadlock. We're running these stock foams right now with the stock tires. We really want to try to use these stock tires. There's nothing wrong with these. The foams, of course, are a little stiff. I'm not sure what they were going after with this stiff of a foam, but we're gonna give it a try and see how it does. So these trucks are kind of interesting. They are what they call a trail buggy, which they kind of scream more than just a rock crawler. It's kind of a cross between a crawler and kind of a race truck, almost a King and Hammer style truck. So we're going to do some modifications to them to get them to go a little bit quicker than they do stock. Out of the box, I think they did a really good job as far as the suspension goes. It works nicely, and the motor and speed control and radio even are plenty good enough to run for a while. I think, you know, anybody that didn't have a lot of experience would be fine with the way it's set up as out of the box. For us, I think, you know, we're gonna want a little bit more performance. One of the biggest issues that I've seen is the servo speed. So this truck goes a little bit quicker than a standard rock crawler, and the servo is just a little bit slow. I think it's plenty powerful enough, it's just the speed on it's a little bit slow. So we're gonna try to fix that. The bottom of the car is absolutely perfect. The axles are great, the links are great, the smoothness of the bottom is perfect, and I think for, you know, out of the box they did a superior job with it, and there's really nothing wrong with it. So on this truck here, it's the same truck, same chassis, just a different color scheme, and the gray plastic cage came out a light gray, which we wanted it to be a little bit darker. Our options were to paint it, which could get scratched, or what we opted to do was dye it. So we dyed this plastic a gray color, and we think it came out pretty good. It really came out. It really came out quite consistent. You can see the gray underneath here. This is all dyed. In fact, we dyed the entire chassis all in one piece, and the color came out pretty much perfect. There's no blotchiness, and it dyed great. We were considering dyeing it red, but with that light gray color, the red dyes kind of like a brick color. This is dyed red, and it wasn't quite the color we were looking for on the chassis, so this was a test piece, and like you can see, it's a little bit darker than, say, the red up here. So had they given us a white cage or something, we could have dyed it a brighter color. But anyway, that's the kind of the rundown on the car as it sits and out of the box, other than different wheels and whatnot. So we're going to give them a run and kind of show you what it does and doesn't do. So with that, we'll get going. So after spending a little time with the H10s, like I suspected, the servo isn't terrible as far as power. It's just a little bit underpowered. As far as speed though, these cars go a little bit quicker, and you need a faster response servo to really get a little better response out of the steering. But if you didn't know any better, it'd be totally fine out of the box. The foam is a little bit hard. We're going to try to do some things to salvage these foams, and then we'll probably end up with a two-stage foam, which is probably what these tires really need. They've got a lot of traction, but with this stiff foam, they tend to slip and slide, and anyway, they could use a little softer foam. The tires, they kind of crinkle under high grip situations, and that's just because the rubber is so grippy inside that it's sticking onto the foam. And if you just put a little bit baby powder inside this tire and then remount it with that foam, you'll probably be fine. But it just goes to show you how soft and pliable these tires are, and it's just sticking on that foam inside. So that's a fairly easy thing to rectify. Other than that, of course, you know, we're going to modify the motor and speed control and get a little more speed out of it. But these are great cars right out of the box. I think Vanquish really hit a home run with these things. So anyway, that's it for now, and we'll see you next time. Hey YouTubers, it's RC Mike. Here we are with the H10 Optic, and I thought I'd give you a little update on after the running. It's dirty and it's dusty, and and an interesting thing that they had mentioned in the manual was not to use a pressure washer to clean your car, and it's like, who would do that? Well, it got me thinking. It's like, well, let's see, why not? So here we go. So anyway, we're going to try and clean this thing with a pressure washer and see what happens. Again, something I wouldn't recommend for everybody to do, but I figured why not? Since they said not to do it, then let's go ahead and do it.